Hello, welcome back to my podcast. My name is Justina. I'm your host. I'm a life coach in training and your companion on this inner growth journey. I'm actually very happy and very excited because this is my fifth episode, and I hope you're enjoying my podcast so far. Today we are going to talk a little bit more about something that we spoke about last week, which is goal setting and how to set goals you'll actually follow through on. And like we talked last week, new year, new me. Many people have new goals, and uh, we are going to have a look on how to actually set your goals because that's very important. So it's about not perfect goals, and it's not about goals that look good on Instagram, but goals that feel aligned, realistic, and kind to your nervous system. So if you feel tired of setting goals and then just abandoning them, feeling like you fail every time you try to change, or thinking, what's the point? I'll never stick to anything. This episode is for you. Let's be honest, a lot of goal setting advice out there is harsh. It's often no excuses, hustle harder. If you want it badly enough, you do it. But in real life, you have emotions, you have responsibilities, you get tired, and sometimes you don't feel safe enough to make big changes. So you might set goals like I'll go to the gym 6 times a week, or I'll wake up at 5 a.m. every day, or I'll never overthink again. And then when you can't keep up, your brain says, see, you're the problem. But here's the truth, most of the time, it's not you that's the problem. It's the way the goal was set. Too big, too vague, not aligned with your life. So before we even talk about specific goals, I want to ask I want you to ask yourself, how do I actually want to feel in my life? Because a lot of the goals are just attempts to feel a certain way. So, for example, lose weight might actually mean I want to feel confident and comfortable in my body. Make more money might mean I want to feel safe and less stressed. Mm, be more productive might mean I want to feel proud of myself and in more control. So take a moment and think, do I want more peace, more joy, more confidence, more energy, more freedom? When you know how you want to feel, you can choose goals that support this feeling, instead of fighting against yourself. So you have to remember to make your goals specific and simple. So instead of I want to be healthier, try I will go for a 20-minute walk 3 times a week. Or instead of I want to work on myself, try I will journal for 10 minutes twice a week about how I feel. Um, Maybe instead of I want to be more confident, try I will speak up once a week in a situation when I feel where I'd usually stay quiet. And ask yourself, if I had to choose one small, clear goal for the next 30 days, what would it be? And don't forget that the magic is in simplicity, not in how impressive the goal sounds, but small steps are better than one big step. So make it tiny enough that you can't say no. So your nervous system doesn't like massive sudden change because it feels unsafe. So that's when you freeze or avoid. So instead of forcing giant changes, try this. Make the first step so small it feels almost too easy. For example, instead of meditate every day for 20 minutes, start with 3 minutes. Instead of journal for 5 pages, write 3 sentences. Instead of Go to the gym for an hour, commit to putting on your gym clothes and going for 10 to 15 minutes. Why? Because success builds self trust. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, your brain learns, oh, when I say I'll do something, I actually do it. And that feeling is what allows you to build bigger things in the future. So, when we set goals, we often imagine this perfect future version of us, always motivated, never tired, never emotional, with no bad days. But in real life, you have low energy days, you get sick, you have stress, you might have family or work stuff going on. So instead of planning for your perfect self plan for your real self and ask, what will I do on the days I don't feel like it? Maybe your bare minimum version of the goal is smaller. You allow yourself one pause day a week without guilt, or you focus on consistency, not perfection. So, for example, if I really don't feel like moving, I will at least stretch for 5 minutes. Or if I miss a day, I won't quit. I'll just start again the next day. So the goal is not never breaking the chain, it's learning how to come back when you do. So one reason why we quit goals is because we make the journey feel miserable. So we say, it's never enough. Okay, I did it, but it doesn't count. Other people do more. What if you decided to be on your own side this time? So, what if you said, I'm proud of myself for trying? This small step matters. I'm building a new version of me slowly. You're allowed to celebrate the walk you did, the boundaries you set, and the time you spoke kindly to yourself. Think of it like encouraging a child who's learning to walk. You wouldn't shout. You only took 2 steps. That's nothing. You'd say, "Look at you, you did it." You deserve the same energy. So let's do a reflection moment. You can pause this later and write it down if you want. So you can take your journal and you can write these down. How do I want to feel in my life over the next 3 months? What is one small realistic goal that supports that feeling? What would my bare minimum version of the goal look like on the low energy day? Remember, there's no wrong answers. Just be honest with yourself. I, of course, have your one tiny action for this week, which is choose one small kind goal for the next 7 days and write it down. Just one. So I'll give you a few examples. Can be something like I will go for a 15-minute walk twice this week, or I will journal for 5 minutes 3 times this week, or maybe I will spend 10 minutes each evening without my phone, just breathing and checking in with myself. And then when you do it, don't forget to acknowledge it. You can say something like I'm proud of myself for starting, or maybe something like I'm excited to learn about more about myself. And I want to take this opportunity to say to thank you for spending this time with me. And I hope this episode reminded you that you're not bad at goals. You've just never been taught to set them in a way that's kind to your mind and body. If this resonated with you, I'd love you to follow or subscribe to this podcast, and don't forget to connect with me on my Instagram, positive.mindset.adventures. And I want you to remember that small steps still count. You don't need to change your whole life in one week. You just need to keep choosing yourself a little bit more, a little bit at a time. I'm proud of you. Talk to you in my next episode. Thank you, see you, and bye.